Groupies. We have groupies.
We do have groupies.
Well, it is Sunday. Of course they're watching
Yeah,
religiously.
yeah. What else would you
Yeah.
watch on a Sunday evening than the
I can't
Battle of
think of a thing.
Kolin taking place in
No,
slow motion disaster?
very slow motion.
Yeah, I've got, and there's probably people that have got their jerseys. They've got like a Prussian jersey, and they've got their Austrian jersey, and they put them on. They
Wow.
got their little flags. They wave them, little pom
Yeah,
poms.
the little flags that go round and round with the little clackety clack
Yep,
sound.
yep, yep,
Yeah,
yep.
totally.
Exactly. They got
Absolutely.
their
Push it, woo!
yeah. They've got the what is it? The
Yeah.
what are those like horns that they were playing at some of those soccer games? The Zuzu
Oh
Whalers or
yeah.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you
Yeah, they
go.
probably
There
got
you
those.
go.
They're playing those
Oh
at their
yeah.
computer while they watch
Boy,
us
it is
play.
so great that we don't have to hear I mean, we don't hear those.
Yeah, well,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's both a blessing and a curse.
Yeah, I
I
suppose so.
mean,
We're missing out on the
it's
excitement.
kind of sad that we're not able to, feel the full joy of what we're bringing to everybody.
Hmm.
We just have to type back at them their little comment section as they write us notes saying how much they enjoy our programming here. So,
Indeed, indeed.
yeah, well, and let's see,
Well,
tomorrow
that
we've got
is.
our How to Learn Labatai Premiere workshop.
Oh,
So if you guys
yeah, that's
noticed
right.
on the Discord server, I now have a
Hmm.
workshop channel. So
Oh, do you really?
yeah, yeah, it's just above the lobby.
Yep,
So
I
that
see that.
way, because I know the Bill and some of the other guys are
Oh, I
playing
see
on
it.
Monday nights, so I figured
That's right.
I didn't want people to crash Bill's Bill and
Well,
Alex's stuff and Jesse's stuff. So I thought I
mhm,
put it right at the top. People can find
that's
it.
great.
Yep, yep, yep. So,
Most excellent.
yep, something
Most
like that.
excellent.
So
Well, I tell you what, I haven't lost a battle all day, so I mean,
you
maybe it's
haven't.
time. Yeah.
That
I
means
mean,
you just haven't played yet.
no, it just means I haven't finished the battle yet.
You haven't.
I,
What have you
I,
got on your table at home now? Are you're
I've
done with
actually got,
Lutzen?
yeah, Luton's all done.
Okay.
That came out to be a tie in great 7th century, or excuse me, 18th century form. It turned
Wow.
out to be a tie. Um, I mean, to be fair, and I think this is well understood, that the victory conditions were kind of intended to reflect, that the things are a little easier for the Prussians, so they got to
Right.
work harder to get a victory out of it. So that was a tie. No, what I've got on the table right now is, let's see, when I was over playing Prague at John's house,
Right.
John Minnick. He gave me a book called The Great War, Myths of the Great War.
Hmm.
Really encouraged me to read that. I'm like, sure, why not? I mean, I'm kind of open-minded about different topics. Why not? So I've been reading it almost to the finish now. And so that got me thinking about this VUCA simulations game, Nach Paris.
Ah,
Uh,
okay.
And so it's a World War I game, absolutely gorgeous board and pieces, as is really common with VUCA simulation
Yep,
games.
yep.
And I've discovered that what I thought was really hard and really complicated wasn't really that bad. And so I had to reset the game, and so I'm playing it again now that I understand what the rules are. So anyway, I'm doing that. So that's a little different, but I haven't gotten to the end, so I don't know.
Huh.
And
The usual suspects are all
Yeah.
gathered.
Oh, we've
Mhm.
got none other than Mr. Stigler with us this
here
evening.
now.
How are you?
How's it going?
I'm
Oh,
doing
not too
great.
bad. Not too bad.
Well,
I
good.
I was kind of absent for a little while because in their infinite wisdom, Discord did something weird and made me reestablish my username.
Huh.
And when I did that, I lost my invite to the Lavatai server, which was why I
Okay.
contacted you a little while ago to send me another invite.
Right.
So yeah. So today I'm going to be meeting Albert Smith a little bit later
Right.
to do a little playtesting on Three Dog Deluxe. So yeah, I just thought
Very
I'd
nice.
pop in a little early.
So this is
Mm.
what, the wilderness that you guys are working on, or is this a different?
No, no, no. This is 3 Days to Gettysburg, the deluxe
Ah,
edition. Yeah,
okay.
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Very cool.
Pretty serious. There was a lovely prototype pre-production copy of it at Tempe last year. It
Mhm.
looked for all the world like a production copy. And
Yeah, yeah. We're able to produce some pretty good looking stuff,
mm,
and it's kind of strange because we get used to doing that during playtest, and we think, oh yeah, this is ready for the printer, and then once it goes to the GMT art department, um, Charlie gets a hold of the maps, and they come back, and he just sprinkles some kind of fairy dust on them because we're thinking, oh my God, these maps that we thought looked so good now look
and they
like
just
crap in
that's
comparison to
funny.
what Charlie has done, and it's just like, what does he do? We're like looking for the secret ingredient
Right.
or
Well,
something.
it's
I
funny
don't know
you'd
what
say
he
that
does.
because for all that I've really enjoyed the game that I just mentioned just before you joined us, Knock Paris by
Oh
Vuka
yeah.
Simulations, I just so wish that they had called up Mark Simonich and said, "Do you have an hour to help us figure out what the player aid should look like?"
Mm.
And it would have been so much better. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on the player aid, but it's not
Yeah.
always where you're expecting to see it, and sometimes there's things you still have to go look in the rules for. And I just think, boy, they got so close. There's so much that's really nice about it, and yet there's some things where you're just like, I'm not really sure. So yeah, I
Yeah, I'm
get that.
dying to get that one on the table. In fact, I'm hoping somebody starts a game of that for Constant World Expo because
Ah,
I
sure.
would love to jump in on that.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
I
The full campaign would be pretty out of control.
Yes, yes, it would be a lot of fun. And I last summer, me and a guy in my area here in Portland, we got together and we played some of the small card map scenarios, trying to get used to it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it it looked pretty good. I was really impressed. And it's kind of a chewy game to learn because none of the mechanics are anything like you haven't seen before, but they always do everything just a teeny bit different,
Yeah,
so that you kind of have to relearn,
yeah.
all of those things, and so it makes the game a little bit chewy, especially
Yeah,
like
well, and I think there's just a little bit of a sense that, and by the way, no criticism, but if you've been playtesting a game and playtesting a game and playtesting a game, I think it's really easy to forget the stuff you learned 9 months ago when you started playtesting, and
yeah,
you forget how to explain it to someone who's never seen it before.
right,
And there's just a few things about the game that once you realize that's what's going on, you go, oh, and it's not that weird, but you have to get there. And if you're just reading the rules, it's not going to leap off the page at you. And
yeah,
it's one of those things they talk about. What do they talk about? Just not not blind taste, blind play testers, but I mean, it's a little bit like that idea of just somebody who's just for the first time looking at this game. Are they able to make any sense of it? Because that's what most of your customers are going to be like, right?
yeah,
Can they make any
and
sense out of it?
the rules were really well laid out, and they had tons and tons of examples, but I
Hmm.
found what I thought was kind of like a little theme that was really causing a little bit of confusion. And there's one example of, what is it? What was it? There's one example of an assault that uses both. the artillery bombardment and the reduction of fortresses.
Yeah, just
And
anything to do with a fortress and the just
yes,
suddenly brings on all these new mechanisms and it makes it
yes,
suddenly vastly more complicated. Yeah.
yes, exactly. And what happens is they explain it um, in the examples of play, but they have it broken up into two different ones that are like separated by some other rules and some other things.
Hmm.
So
And
we started
you're not
getting kind of
100% sure, like, how
yeah.
does that
I
work
was a
in my
little
circumstance?
right, and
Yeah.
I think one of them was the artillery only. Where you have artillery attached either to itself or to infantry, and you can bombard with it to kind of like soften up and do prep fire, but
Right.
then they can't move and they can't also participate in combat that comes later.
Right.
And they use different tables. There's a slightly different method that you determine what happens if you're using preparatory bombardment or if you're using uh, artillery by itself or
So
in
I am just
concert.
playing a scenario right now where I don't have to worry about forts. It's so much easier.
Oh yeah,
That's the way I
yeah,
went with
yeah.
that.
Get transferred away from Belgium, you know.
There you go. That's the spirit.
That, but yeah, but
Oh,
I'm really happy with everything about the game and the fact that they were smart enough to vassalize it and put that out there right when it was released, and then they like did a reprint of like half the counters without anybody even complaining. They weren't
yeah.
happy with the colors, and
Yeah.
then yeah, one day it just like popped up on my doorstep. I'm like, what is this? And I
Uh,
open
the
it up
the
and
the one that I bought. Now, by the way, the game comes with 10, count 'em, 10 counter sheets, which
Wow.
is
damn,
kind of mind-boggling. They
yeah,
are those
they're
those
oversized though.
they're oversized and they're pre-rounded. So they're not all right next to each other, you
Right.
know. But it is pretty impressive when you open the thing and you're like, wow, this is a lot of counters, and you realize that two of the counter sheets are redundant
Yeah.
because they didn't like the colors of the ones that came in the box, so they gave you two more.
Huh.
Like, wow.
And this is basically the von Schlieffen plan, the Battle of the Marne,
Yeah,
that kind of thing. Okay.
that's absolutely. It's the whole first two
Mobile phase.
months.
Hmm.
2 months of the 1914 campaign, and
Interesting.
like 10 kilometer hexes, and just absolutely gorgeous map. Oh my gosh, the
Wow.
map looks Beaux-Art. It's
It does.
very 1890s style art. It looks like something that they themselves would have been pouring over. Very nice, very
Oh,
nice.
Yeah.
wow. Cool.
But
And it's
enough
also
about the
functional
20.
too. It's
Yeah,
also
yeah,
functional. There's a lot
yeah,
of symbology that you have to look at to see about, roads and tunnels and all these other
yeah,
little things that you have to bring the engineers up to fix before you can move forward. And oh
yeah,
man, it's just tons and tons of like little details. So yeah,
Very cool. I'll have to,
yeah.
yeah, send us some pictures, Michael.
I will. I will. I took a picture today. I'm terrified because, of course, I've already reset this scenario because I was doing something wrong. So I'm moderately terrified about taking pictures and posting them because I'm worried that someone's going to go, "That's not possible." It's like, damn it.
Oh,
Yeah. But whatever. I'll do
yeah.
it. We'll get her done.
Because Clash of Arms had
hey,
came out with a game, I don't know, 20, maybe 25 years ago called, I think, Home Before the Leaves Turn or something like that,
Oh
which
yeah,
was
leaves
the,
man.
fall.
oh, is that it?
Over
Before the
for the
Leaves
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 Fall.
fall.
fall. Yeah, leaves
And
fall. Yeah.
and I'd heard great things about it. And of course, I didn't buy it at the time. But it was one of those things that it sounded like it was really a good game. But it's the same thing. It's the von Schlieffen, it's the Battle of the Marne, it's that early part of the First
Right.
World War. which is the part that where there's something that might happen before everyone's all entrenched and basically just stabbing at each other across no man's land for a long time. Um, but
That was the
yeah,
whole point of the war.
yeah,
Whoa,
exactly.
you
Yeah,
know what? Let me just say, sir,
yep.
well done you, because it was 27 years ago. That is an excellent guess to say 25.
Yeah, I knew it was a while back. It
27.
was back when I did not have enough money to buy it. Nowadays, I'm like, oh yeah, I could buy that game. Except now it's out of
Sure.
print and trying to find it on something. I'm probably sure I'd spend.
Uh,
Yeah, but it's just there's a lot of games that are just oh that would be a great game, and I'm just like, am I going to play it? Probably
yeah,
not.
that's the biggest problem.
Yeah,
And that's where when I see something posted on the Consim marketplace on
yeah, on
Facebook
Facebook. Yeah,
now, the chances of me actually being willing to buy it are super duper low. Not because the spirit isn't willing, but because the flesh is weak. There's
yeah.
just so many games that need to be played.
Well, and that's
I
why
have
And
I didn't get
already,
Winner's Victory. I'm like, I know it's a
yeah,
beautiful game. I saw it at Tempe
yeah.
for years, and it's just like I
that's
know
right.
I'm not gonna play it. And so,
Yeah, when am I going to play
yeah.
it?
But
Yeah.
I have
Right.
gotten. I just got a copy of the Vive la Empereur series, their 100 Days campaign, which is the
Really?
yeah, and I like it because it's regimental scale and it tends to play pretty fast. And so I actually have their Hanau game. I played that
Yep.
a few
I knew
times
you
with
had that
Jim
one.
Soto and had a lot of fun. And there's the four Spanish battles, or four
Right.
battles in Spain, and those are fun
Yeah, that's a
too.
nice thing about that series is it really has been around long enough that there's a lot of game there, and
Yeah.
if you're going to learn a series, you'd like to be able to get a lot of game, right? So that would be a good thing for it.
Well, and what I'm thinking to do maybe next year at Tempe is I've got their Leipzig game, which is
Okay.
huge. I did a video
Oh,
on it.
really?
I did a video on it a couple of months ago. Like, is this game playable? Is this game too big
Wow,
to be played?
really?
Yeah, because the map
Really?
itself is huge. It takes up a vast. It would take. It's like an 8 by 8. You know. Uh,
No,
yeah,
really?
way. It's huge because it's
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 a
got
huge battle, I
it's a
get
huge
it.
battle, and it's got the north of Leipzig, the south of Zion. So the Labatai
Right.
guys, they just have where the battle took place. And so, like, their Battle of Leipzig, Leipzig's not, there's no map with Leipzig on it. So that was always the running joke. It's
Whoops.
like, I just bought a Battle of Leipzig and there's no map with Leipzig on it, and that's
The Battle of
because,
the Leipzig Donut.
yeah, exactly, because there's no, yeah, Gary Quick is citing, and there's 10 maps. Yeah, there's 10 maps with that. And
Wow.
I mean, it looks like it'd be, but it would have to be like a big team game. So if I were to
Yeah.
organize it, we'd have to play it at something like Consim, where I could
Right.
have, 4 or 5
Or
guys
here.
on each side, and
Yeah.
somebody's playing at mock turn, and somebody's here, and somebody's there, and we're kind of, playing over this big, huge space. But I think it'd be a
Yeah.
hoot.
You
No, it
know,
would
I've
definitely
I
be a
have
hoot.
I've kind of given up on the idea that, I'm going to play every game in my collection because I know it just simply isn't true. But however, it's like, some things come out and it's just like I'm really interested in it. I don't know for sure if I'm going to, if I'm going to be on this mortal coil long enough to play it, but I sure don't want to be in the position where I'm sitting here going, you know, this game's out of print now and I can't get it for less than a king's ransom. But right now, I would start today if I could and not have it.
Right.
So, I've got some stuff that's, still on my back burner, my shelf of shame, still in shrink wrap, like the whole Simonich 40 whatever
Right.
Oh, brother.
system is pretty much,
Brother.
yeah, it's like I really want to play those, but they're all but I think Ukraine 43, which was the first one that
Oh,
came out.
Mm.
I've got
oh,
all of them, and they're sitting there in shrink wrap, and Stalingrad
mm.
42, and all, are all of these are just sitting there, and it's like,
And
maybe I'll get to them, but who knows?
At
Maybe I won't.
least get some France 40 or Normandy 44 action going, even if you
I
can't do the rest
I
of them.
just
You
got
gotta
France
do it.
42. I just got it,
Yeah.
but it's like, when do I get the time? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm happy when I can, in a calendar year, I can maybe remove one or two games from my shelf of
Compared to the
shame.
number of new ones you bring in, right? It's a
Yes,
net.
right.
That's always
Yeah,
the important
it's a
part is the
net.
net.
It's a net loss, right? I know it's a net loss, but it's like you got to at least say you made progress, so
Yeah,
that it's
yeah.
not like, well, I bought 6 games this year and didn't play any on my backlog. Then it's like, you can't do that. So this year,
You're
I had
playing,
had
brother.
on my shelf of shame for a couple of years now. I wanted to play the full 3-map Chancellorsville from across the Rappahannock,
Oh, wow.
and
Ooh.
I started that. We're just about at dusk of the first day, May 1st. And, I mean, Glory was one of those games I avoided for a long time because I knew it was very similar to Great Battles of the American Civil War, but,
But one level
kind
up.
of a half a level up, really. And I just didn't want to get to a part where I was like confused with the rules between the two. And so for a long time, it's like, hey, I'm playing Great Battles of the American Civil War, and I don't want to get confused, so
Mm,
I don't want to play any Glory.
Right.
And
okay.
so finally now, I'm at the point where no, not now I know enough to where I won't get the rules confused. And so I'm playing with a buddy of mine who retired to Thailand. We got a Thursday set date, and we're going through it.
Awesome.
And yeah, now I'm seeing all the things that that I don't quite like about the Glory system, and it makes me glad that I decided to put my interest and effort into Great Battles,
Right.
because it's I think it's far and away the better system between the two.
Right.
But at least now I get to see do Chancellorsville,
Yeah.
which you really couldn't do with Great Battles. The American Civil War, it's just too big.
Right.
You'd need
Right.
like 5, 2 rows of 5 maps. It would be like that new game in your system that just came out. I'm not exactly sure what it was, but
Is that the
it's
lock and load
huge.
one or
No, it's Lava Tie, but it's huge. I think it's the most recent one to come out.
it's a Lava tie game?
Yeah,
So let's see.
there's
So
one of those
Ed,
games
I
that's
don't know
got
what
like
the
8
biggest
map
one
sheets.
would be.
yeah, so Ed
What?
Wimble he published Mont Saint Jean, 2 years
Oh,
ago.
what's Waterloo?
Yeah, which is Waterloo. He's coming out with WAV, which is not that big. That's just a 2-mapper.
What's that about?
The Egg Mole is the one that Marshall is putting out, and that's not that
I
big.
think that's the one.
Oh,
No?
okay. Yeah, that's just a
That's
2-mapper.
new.
That's it's
Oh, no. There was one that was like 8 map sheets or something. Wasn't there? That just came out
not
How
just
big was the?
recently?
yeah. No, I mean the
Not real
one
recent.
of the bigger ones that Marshall put out, Bautzen,
Yeah.
and that was what,
Bautzen, yes.
3 or 4 years. That was like maybe 4 years ago, and that was 6 maps, and that
Yeah.
was like 8x4, so
Oh,
about
okay.
8 foot long. You need an
Yeah.
8 foot long table and a 4 foot wide table to
And it
host
was
it all.
important to be at the correct end of the table.
Yeah, Michael and
Yeah.
I ended up down at the far end, waiting for the bridge to get repaired. That
Oh,
was
man.
well, on the bright side, I do tell Jim that you and I became friends over the course of the 3 days that we sat there
That's
rolling the
right.
dice, waiting for
There's nothing
the
like
bridge to get
shared
repaired.
misery
Yeah,
to
exactly.
provide
Exactly.
the opportunity for friendship.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah. So, well, speaking of which, so Alan, it was awesome to catch up with you. We're playing the Battle of Kolin from the Battles of Age of Reason tonight. But tomorrow night, you might be interested. I'm doing a workshop here on Discord for
Yeah, I saw
learning
that.
the Premier rules. We're using the Austerlitz module that you'd help modify. And then we're going to be on Discord. So it's going to be a workshop, a real-time workshop. And then the following Monday, we're doing one on how to learn and how to use the 5th edition rules. And we'll be using the Dresden workshop. So if you want to come in and sit in on either of those, we'd love to have you, and you could ask questions. It's going to be just like this, kind of live on Discord. I will live stream it, so that way it'll be recorded, so that way people who can't make it can at least watch it after the fact.
Yeah.
If you're available either tomorrow night to learn Premiere or the following week to learn 5th edition, I know that you're intrigued by the system, and I know you haven't really played it because
Yeah.
you've been a little intimidated by the rules. But maybe this will help encourage you to
No, that's
take a
great
take
way
a
to get
swing at
over
it.
the hump there.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I might have to make an effort to sit in on the 5th edition, because I think that's probably, if if I had to make a choice as to which rule set to start with, I think it would probably be 5th edition. But I don't know for sure. But anyway, that would probably be the best entree point for me.
I think that's probably a good choice because it's got enough stuff that with command control and stuff that it's respectable, but it's easier enough with the general sequence of play too. So, well, cool. We're going to start chucking some dice here. So
Okay.
I feel a
I don't want to
special
keep you from
event
that.
coming on.
all right, Michael,
anybody
it's
else-
your turn to click first.
All right, here we go. Special event, and
Oh,
damn it,
no.
I did it wrong.
Hey, but you did
I
push
did it
the
wrong.
clock
I
forward.
did push the clock forward, so we'll move the clock ahead a tiny bit. And that's one for the good guys.
It is. It's one for the
And-
Prussians.
And if memory serves, I think the Prussian left wing has already gone.
Correct.
So then the question is what else do the Prussians want to do while they can? I mean, does Trescal want to go rushing forward and see if he can just, cross steel with the bad guys?
No.
Come on!
No.
You
But
sound like me playing Lobotyme to Moskva, right? That's not okay.
Well, are you going to be
Only
leaping
electrons
forward?
died.
What are you going to be doing, Michael?
We
talk a
are
good
leading
game.
with the left. We are leading with the left. That
Leading
was
with the left.
plan.
Oh, okay.
Get-go.
Okay.
Those of you who were in the Prussian headquarter tent know that.
Nobody
Yeah.
was.
One
I
wondered.
had to vamp for half an hour while you guys were chatting. So I feel sorry for all of my viewers who had to endure all of that.
It was impressive that they were willing to do it for you. That's
Yep.
good.
Yep.
Uh,
You guys are welcome to
boy.
pass. I'll take it if you guys don't have anything
Gosh,
to do. Yeah.
as it turns out, no, that's not really what's
Oh,
going to happen.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, I know it's fair. It's a fair thought, but no. Right. Okay.
That's
Well,
not a
then
wing.
fine.
that's not a
Sorry?
wing, right?
It's not a wing.
No, it's not. It's not a wing. It would only be one of Trescow's if we were going to do Trescow. Obviously, it's early. Doesn't matter. We can do a lot of stuff. I could go ahead and do Monstein.
Oh,
and just go ahead and.
before we get too carried away, I looked up some rules.
Oh no!
Yeah. Yeah. So you were
Tell me
we
about
had a
rules.
discussion about artillery stacking. So I read through
Yes.
the rules for that, and it said so when artillery are stacking, they count for 4 strength points. When they're stacked
Yeah.
with infantry, when they're in road
Yeah.
column, and that's pretty much it. So when you're looking at it and it says in the clear artillery can have 8 strength points,
Yes.
that's just artillery only with other artillery.
Yes.
But when you're stacking with infantry, then it's a case
Yeah.
where now they're worth 4 points per. So so the different batteries that have got, say, 2 strength points, that's
Yeah.
basically 8 strength points for stacking purposes. So you could
Right.
have, yeah. Oh, there was some confusion about it. There was some question about it from what you said, from like something like where you said, was it Mitchell or somebody hadn't explained it to you?
No. The problem was that if you had let's just take clear. Just look at the terrain effects chart for clear.
Right.
If you had infantry in line,
Yeah.
you could have 16 strength points in a hex.
Right.
16.
Yep.
If you had artillery, you could have 8 strength points in a hex.
Yep.
The problem is there's not a 4-to-1 ratio there. So if you're counting artillery as 4 compared to infantry, then it doesn't really compute
Right.
between line and artillery. So it's not really clear what you're supposed to do if you've got infantry and artillery stacked together.
Right, but if you look
And
at
it
infantry,
sounded like you read something. Yeah, tell
but if
me
you
where
look
you
at
saw something.
infantry in March column,
In
it's-
column, yes.
right, it's 32, and artillery is 8 times
It's
4.
8.
That's 32.
And there you get the 4-to-1. That's for
Yeah,
sure. Yeah.
yeah. So
And so you do get to 4-to-1, but only when it's in column.
right. Yeah.
So-
The other thing is that the you moved an artillery unit and you unlimbered it in a non-clear terrain. So if you
Ooh.
change formation
that's-
in
yeah, that would-
non-clear, it uses the whole movement point or the whole movement.
Yeah.
So you can't move it and then unlimber it. So these guys that are here would still be limbered. The ones that are here by that walled thing.
yeah.
So you could move them, but you couldn't
So-
unlimber them this turn.
So probably the better thing is just to unlimber them in the hex behind and then prolong them forward, because there's no point in having them where they can get shot at.
Well, I don't have
limbered
anything
state.
that can shoot them anyway. Right, I don't have any guns over there anyway. And then the other one,
Okay.
this one that unlimbered, unlimbering in non-clear terrain, you have a disorder check, and you guys didn't roll for the disorder check. So that was the other thing. So I just thought I'd bring that to everyone's attention before we leaped into the game some more.
Okay, well then, but that would also be true for the unit that moved forward.
Right. Well,
Oh,
it could
but
move
you're
forward,
claiming it didn't actually change.
but it didn't actually
formation.
change formation, and so therefore it's not
Yeah,
a disorder check. Yeah.
it would make more sense for both of them to be in the hex back behind, and that way you're only rolling for a disorder check once.
Yeah, it's up to you guys what you want to do.
It doesn't
But
make,
I
it
just
doesn't
thought
make any sense.
this
Yeah,
is the
no,
danger
that's a
of
fair
me
point.
actually reading the rules.
Wow, I'm not sure if I'm all that much in favor of it, but okay.
What was the conclusion though when they prolong forward? Are you saying they can stack or they can't stack with the infantry?
So if
Absolutely, they can.
if they prolonged into the hex, so you're in a village, you
Yeah.
have 4 increments of artillery. So 4 times 4 is going to be 16, and you therefore wouldn't be able to stack any infantry with them because that would exceed the stacking limit of infantry and
that's-
artillery.
And that's crap. I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
Well,
I could have 16 infantry in line.
right, but
and that would
village
work.
no, but village
But
is
And I could have,
yeah.
well, it doesn't matter what the number is. It's the
Right.
ratio. That's what matters, right? I could have X of guns, or I could have Y of infantry, but somehow you can't stack that same quantity together fractionally if you're mixing them, and it just doesn't make any sense.
Well, so you can, because if he just prolongs one of the batteries there, then it's 8 less 16. You could have another 8 increments of infantry stacked with it, right? So 8 strength points of stacking for artillery plus 8
Yeah.
infantry, you'd be fine.
Yeah.
But if you've got 2 batteries, now suddenly you've got 16 quote unquote stacking points just among those 2 batteries. And that's then when you have the problem trying to get any infantry with it. So that's all I was saying.
Well, I don't know. It doesn't pass the smell test for me.
Yeah.
I mean, if I could have 6 artillery batteries in the hex, why is it suddenly that 4 artillery batteries occupies all of the hex? If it was only artillery, I could have 6. So it sounds like 4 is 2/3, in which case there must be room for infantry.
Yeah. Well, and so now I understand
Yeah.
that's what your
That
question
was my
was
objection.
with. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It just did not pass the smell test.
Yeah.
Either it's 4-1 or it's not 4-1. Either way, just when you start mixing infantry and artillery, suddenly the stacking doesn't make any sense.
Well, no, but it is still 4-1 because you're looking at the stacking for line. If you look at the stacking for March column,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
4-1. It's 24.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but I would argue that line is still a valid state to be in. If I'm in a clear hex and I set up 8 artillery strength points, okay, I've taken up all the space. I get it. No
Right.
problem. If I've taken up 4, well, then that would be half of the space. It wouldn't be all of the space. It would be half of the space. But if we're doing this 4-1 ratio, then the other half can't be filled with 8 strength points of infantry in line. But why not? Because I should be able to fill 16 strength points of line across a single hex. The ratios don't work. They only work if you're in column, but why should that why should it matter if they're in column?
Because then they're
I'm
using.
actually more.
Yeah. They're
Well,
actually
think about
using
it.
more of the hex, right?
Well, exactly, but width is the trick.
Yes.
Because with artillery pieces, it's width that matters. Because those guns are definitely not double stacked one in
No.
front of the other.
No.
They're all in a line,
Yeah.
right? So to me, if anything, what should be at the 4-1 ratio is line to artillery. And column would be even more than that. Because now I'm
Okay.
stacking up platoons one in front of the next.
Right.
It just doesn't work for me.
Okay.
Whatever.
Okay.
Whatever.
All right. So then you kept them both there. So did you make a roll for, I guess, a disorder check for them as they
Yeah.
unlimber there?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's 87.
Okay.
Is that the 87?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
cool.
All right. Okay. Yeah, right. Where were we before we were so rudely interrupted?
You guys were
Monstein.
moving stuff.
Yeah, Monstein's just going to go ahead and just shoot some because why the hell not? We're going to go ahead and do Monstein. We're going to go ahead and do these artillery too because we can.
Okay.
And
So you've got a
So
6
let's
pounder and a
see.
12 pounder.
beep, 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 beep. Where's Monstein himself?
10,
You think I would know where he was? Oh, there he is.
8. So you've got 18
All right.
between the two of them, I think, at this. So 18 to 10. So that is going to be 1.5 to 1.
Is that
with a
really all it is?
Yeah, because they're times 5 at a range of 3, right? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, times 5.
Wow, that's
the 6
pathetic.
pounders are times 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is pathetic.
So.
All right. So I guess it's 1.5 to 1 minus 10.
Yeah. Roll your dice.
Yeah. Wow, I don't even know why I brought artillery to this battle. What a waste of time that was. Yeah, nothing.
Okay.
All right, very good. Okay, so then let's see. Beep, 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 beep. These two together are 12. 12 times 4 is going to be, 6. 6 times 4 is going to be 24. 24 against him is going to be 2-1 minus 10.
Yep. And that's
nice.
nothing either.
Very nice. Okay. Beep, Dee. Oh, no, he's not. He's not. All right. And then we'll go ahead and move this guy forward one. And we'll turn him this away. And nobody there, so I guess I'll go ahead and activate these guys too, because why the hell not? And that's 1, 2. And these guys will go 1, 2, 3. And I think that's going to be it. Yeah, I think so. So that's it. And we'll go ahead and flip him over. And big fat nothing for all of our trouble, as ever.
Exciting.
So, Eric.
Time for me to roll some dice. Here we go. 55. That's another one for the Prussians.
Okay. All right. Unless somebody has a genius idea.
I can do Braunschweig if you want.
All right.
Braunschweig.
And I'll also do this guy here. All right, so no disorders, no firing. So we go to movement. This guy's going to back up, take a disorder check. Fine. Moving forward and unlimbering. Will do.
That's it. That's it. Shocking.
Who could ask for more?
I tell you, you guys are being
Okay.
nice to me. That's all I can say. All right. It's time for David to roll. Well, that's another one
Holy
for you
smokes.
guys. And it's a wing for what it's
Okay.
worth.
Should we be so inclined?
All right, what are you guys playing?
Hey, Albert, how are you? We are playing the Battle of Kolin, 1787, I think.
All right.
Yeah. What?
Okay.
Yeah. What are you playing?
can't be right.
You're doing Gettysburg. It sounds
Fif-
like with Alan, right?
57.
Right. Yeah. Whenever he comes back on.
Back.
Get
Okay.
started. So I got our room.
Okay. Cool.
And other than that, no news.
Okay. Well, I'm going to
back.
be.
Are you here?
I'm going to be driving in on early Saturday morning. I'm going to leave Orange County at probably like 3 o'clock in the morning, and hopefully get out to Tempe around 8:30, 9 o'clock on Saturday. So that's my game
Alright.
plan. Hopefully, I won't blow out a tire like I did last time
Whoop.
But that's
or 2 times ago.
Hey, Albert.
hear me?
Yeah. Yep.
Hello, David.
Yeah.
No,
I'm
that's
flying.
me.
No, I was talking to. Hey, it's too many people in here.
Michael has gotten everybody over to the dark side, I see.
That's it.
Albert, I'm really enjoying the Battles of the Age of Reason. And so I'm glad that Michael had twisted my arm into taking a look at it, because I had been, as I said, I tried the game when it first came out and was terribly frustrated, and then had not touched it in 30 years. So I'm glad that that Michael was patient enough to shepherd me through this. So it's fun.
You know, the dark side is great fun. We have cookies, but still, it's not for everybody.
Indeed.
And I was going to tell you, Albert, I'm flying in on Thursday and actually rooming with Michael. So
Oh, good. Oh,
yeah,
good.
so I'll see you then.
Thursday, you're flying in Thursday, so
Yep.
they don't even let you set up till Friday night, right?
Or maybe it's Friday we're flying in, right? Yeah.
Oh,
I think it's Friday. We're
Yeah, you guys are
in.
flying in on
Yeah.
Friday, flying out on the following Thursday.
That's right. That's what
Yeah.
it is.
Yep. Flying in on Friday. Yep. We got it. So yeah, I'll see you then.
Okay.
Cool. We'll have
See you
to go out and have dinner and a beer, right, Albert?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I understand that ex-bankers are treating.
That's bankers.
Well,
Yeah, that's the rule. Ex-bankers treat.
those that have money. those that have money,
What ex-banker doesn't have money? Come on, Albert.
that's running. The coffers are running low.
Uh-oh. Is this why you're now developing war games to try to make money in your retirement?
Oh yeah,
age?
because that's where the big money
Yeah,
comes
that's
from.
where the
It's
big
from-
money is.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah. That's why I wanted to design war games, because you get such big bucks for it.
Oh,
Yeah,
indeed.
but and the chicks. Let's be honest.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
between the bucks and the chicks, I mean, you know,
They're free. The chicks.
money for nothing. The chicks
Oh.
for free.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, you guys don't know Albert. He was getting chicks, even before the wargaming development. Come on. Yeah.
In the 1968, sure. Yeah.
He's
yeah,
got
it's
that.
doing
He's got
great.
that animal magnetism.
Well, if you want to put doubts into a woman's mind, take her to a war game convention.
Yeah, that'll work.
This is what I do.
This is what's important to me.
Yeah.
Any further questions?
Yeah.
Yeah. If she sticks with you, then
Yes.
she's what you call a keeper.
Very James Bond.
Yeah. There you go.
That's
All
awesome.
right. Well, Michael, did you roll? Did we have another exciting?
I did. It's an activation for the Prussians. If you want to finish Treskow's movement, you could. Otherwise, whatever. We'll do something
All
else.
right, let's see what else. Where's Trescow? Who else does he got here?
He's got Veed, doesn't he? Or he's got somebody. He's got Ingers Lieben over
Yeah.
here.
Here's Lehman.
Isn't that what you wear on your lower legs?
That's your
Oktoberfest?
later hosen and your inners
Oh,
Lieben.
it's one of those. I knew it was something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's probably the guy who invented it. You know?
Probably.
Yeah, so they named it after him.
All right,
Entirely
so
fitting.
That's these four guys, right?
Yep, that sounds about
Yep,
right.
yep. All right, so what do we got here? All right.
Stigler?
Uh,
Stigler! Calling Stigler.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, now I hear you. Okay.
Oh, okay.
You want?
You had to accept my
Okay.
friend thing because I told you they kind of discombobulated my account. So okay, so I'm in the room, and we're both in the
Okay.
room, and now I'm all rotated and ready to go. So I guess you have to do the same for the union.
Okay, let's go down to game room 1.
Okay.
Hey,
I'm
good to
just-
catch up with you guys.
Yeah.
It's good to catch up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always great.
Y'all take care.
All right, bye.
All right.
All right,
How's
the
that?
line is slowly coming forward.
That's what we were looking
Don't
for.
worry.
Watch somebody else get shot up for a change.
There
That's
you
awesome.
go.
That's how it ought to be, brother.
Gonna
Right
spare
here.
the cavalry a little bit. All right, time for me to roll. See what we get. Oh, it's another big one moving the clock, and another
Advance
one
of the
for the
clock.
Prussians.
Wow, Prussians.
I'm all done. It's up to you, Mike.
All right, no, that's totally fine. Totally fine.
Go get him.
I will. I will do. What's his name? Shawnai. If you watch really carefully, you'll realize that I never took German in high school.
Shocking.
Yeah, I don't know. Just making it up. Fortunately, all the German colleagues I work with speak English really well, so I don't have to speak German. So you see how
That's
easy
true.
that is. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and do him. And I mean, I'm going to go ahead and roll, even though it doesn't make a darn bit of difference. But apparently he's in command. So there's that going for him. So that's one. And
Eric, my
strictly
wife and I are making plans for
One
Europe
also.
next year because she's going to do some
Ooh.
training over there.
Oh,
and-
fun.
And I was looking
Oh.
at the area, and it's not too far from those battles in the initial battles in 1809.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're going to
Really?
be in Austria, Bavaria?
In east of Munich. over
Oh,
there,
okay.
so
Wow.
just a little
Boy,
south.
that's a target-rich environment there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's plenty of
Okay.
stuff that you can tour, both, Napoleonic Wars and Middle Ages and 30
Oh my
Years
gosh,
War and Second World War. Lots of stuff there in the area.
That's
Yeah.
good stuff. Eric, you need a roll for
I
initiative?
do. Okay, here we go. Hey,
Oh,
there's a
and
special one. We were looking for one. A
I said
07.
Eric needed to roll. Did I make you roll last time and I just made you roll again?
This is, I don't know. It doesn't matter. I just rolled a 07. Somebody
Yeah,
would have rolled
I
it.
guess it doesn't matter.
So it
Yeah,
says,
whatever. I
pick
don't care.
one
What's
leader for free movement initiative required. So that
all right,
is
David?
for the.
You gonna
that is
speed your
for
way
the
up the hill
Prussians.
there?
Oh,
I mean,
that's
you got
yeah.
this guy's a 6, that guy's a 5. You could make your way up that hill in a hurry. I kind of like the idea of just suddenly like shifting time and space.
What?
It's a free movement segment. Initiative required.
Oh, okay.
Who would benefit from a free movement segment?
Is that for all units available?
No.
Just
Just
for one command.
One command, and
command.
only the units within reach of the commander. You have to be in command in order to make that work. But I mean, I don't know.
Well, if I was going to do a free movement, I'd maybe want to move whatchamacallit over here. The
Nathan?
not
Well, not Zeton. He's a wing commander.
Olson.
Paulson. Sure. No, absolutely. You got those guys that routed away before that would be kind of handy to have him up front. That's totally legit. And he's a 7, so the chances are pretty high of you making the roll.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, whatever you like.
And then I could get the guns in place there too.
No, the guns aren't part of the command.
Oh,
Probably not. Yeah,
No,
unless
they're
they
not
were
part.
actually stacked with a member of the command.
yeah. No.
And they'd be
Right.
stacked with oh, that's right. Yeah, because Kata is too far forward, so he wouldn't be able to bring those guys up with him because he's all the way down here. So I'm not sure
Yeah.
if it makes sense.
So if that's a wing commander, is it the entire wing if they're in range?
But it's
Yeah,
this
but the
is only-
special event.
Yeah,
Yeah,
special
the
events
special event.
only allow a single command to rule for initiative for that thing.
Right.
There are times that you can get a rule that give you an option to do a wing activation. And if your wing commanders are in range of your army commander, well, then you're good to go. But if you're too far away, then you have to roll for the wing leader's initiative to get them to do the wing activation. So
Okay.
this
I don't
because
know.
it's a special result.
Right.
It's just a single command can be activated. So
For what it's worth, I gotta say, Braunschweig could be pretty good.
Well, then I'm going to block my guns that I just moved up there to start blasting.
Okay, fine. Do somebody else then. All good.
What do you got anything over there that would be?
I mean, let's see. Can't do KO because he's dead. Apparently, that's a problem when you're dead, I guess. It's really disappointing. But as far as movement goes,
Well, don't you, when you get a movement segment, don't you get him back?
no,
no,
not for
no,
a special
'cause
result.
you'd get him back for an activation,
Yeah.
but
Okay,
this isn't really an activation. This is just a movement segment. So no, not really. So I don't really have one that's terrifically interesting to me. I mean, I could keep moving Norman and bring him over farther and faster if you want. That would be an easy one. He's a 7, so that would work. I could keep sliding Penavere over. Don't know what his number is, but I expect it's probably good enough. Excuse me, not Penavere, I mean
Panvitz,
Ponvitz.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, I mean, I could do that. You know, whatevs.
Let's
Just to back you up so you feel comfortable actually charging the Austrians.
I'll try and do Braunschweig, whatever. That's what it is.
Don't want you to block your guns, brother. I don't want you to block your guns.
Well, we'll see if he even goes. He may not
Yeah,
go.
yeah, you're right. You're right.
You know,
You're right.
they got to roll at least a 5 here. So, well,
Yep,
he's
he
going.
does.
Imagine that.
All right, so let's go.
Show him cold steel, brother.
2, 3.
Yeah.
Do I want to go further? What happens if you go up next to cavalry?
That's our cavalry, dude.
Oh,
Isn't it?
No, it's one of mine. It's the one that
Is it?
survived the
Oh,
combat.
It is.
Yeah.
You're right. It is. I thought it was one of mine because I even thought it said K. Oh, it says BD. I
Yeah.
get it.
I mean,
Well, that's even funnier if you're right up against enemy cavalry because the minute they try to do anything, you shoot at them. I mean, how do you beat that?
okay. Well, let's do
There is
this.
no limit to the comedy gold you get by shooting at enemy cavalry.
3, 4.
I don't know, man.
Okay. Well, that's and let's see. And then I can do this guy over here. Oop. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, that's a sunken road. That's going
I'm
to
not
cost
crossing it.
him 2 points to go into. So that would be a rapid march.
Or
And how close do I got to be to stay in command?
Well, your leader's probably a range of 4, so you got to be within 4 of Braunschweig.
Yeah. All right. That's right. I was just trying to.
but he can move too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. But I'm trying to. So.
So you could move the leader before you measure the range.
Usually we wait until you've moved the units, and then you move the leader at the very end to make sure that everybody's in range of his command.
Okay.
So I don't know. There's my disorder check. Yeah, I'm fine.
Yep.
Let's put him there. All right. All right.
Cool.
It's done. All
All right.
right. Put a
was
fork
a-
in it.
That was a special result, so you roll again.
Yep, here we go. Let's see what we get. Hey, it's another one for you guys.
Another advance for the good guys.
And that's
Boom.
a 12. So that advanced the
Yep.
turn.
Yep.
Advanced turn marker. Okay. Let's see. So as you pointed out, you're already done, David, so I won't pester you any further.
I'm done again, you know.
However strongly tempted I am, I won't pester you any further. Okay. Well then let's do Mike Echo, who I think is only in 2 hexes. And my troops are scattered all over, and it's been weeks since we played, so I don't know.
Is this your cavalry? Oh,
Yeah,
Meineke?
right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, the muffler guy.
Yeah, the muffler
Yeah,
guy.
that's who
He's
we're
only
worried
got
about.
He's only got 4
And they're all
battalions,
there
I
in
think,
2
or 4
hexes.
regiments, yeah.
All right, so perfect. So he is exactly the guy we want, because we've got a muffler problem, and that's pretty serious. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and put a fork in that. So there we go. David, your roll.
My roll. Boom. 7.
Oh, it's one for
Wrong
me.
way, wrong way.
All right. So what am I
Okay, look.
going to do? I'm going to have a little bit of fun here, I think.
Let the enemy
Who am I going to
move.
move first?
This will never do, letting the enemy move.
All right. Well, I'm going to activate these Grenzers over here by that little village so they can take a pot shot at you.
That damn time.
And what else? And then I'm going to
Is that a wing? Actually, or is that...
it is a wing if I wanted
Yeah,
a
7-2
wing,
would be a wing. Yeah,
but I'm not gonna take a wing this time with it.
of course not.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
So
That'd be crazy.
instead, I will. I'll activate Haddock over here. Haddock in the paddock. So
Smoked haddock.
yep, smoked haddock. And I think I'll activate this grenadier that's down here too while I'm at it. So why don't I do the firing with the Grenzers first?
Sure, why not?
Yep. So I got this guy will fire here. That's pretty simple. That's going to be 15 to 15 since you're in the little sunken road.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And how many increments have you got? You got 5 increments. So there's no
5 left.
pluses or minuses. So it's just a 1-to-1. 66
Eh.
1 is nothing.
Close, but no
No
cigar.
All right, then these 2 guys are going to fire on you here. So I've got 25 to 10. So that's 2.5 to 1.
10,
Shifted, I
yeah,
guess,
yeah.
to what? 3 to 1 for the flank.
Yeah.
Yep.
Minus 10, minus 5 for size. Yeah, 3 to 1
Okay.
minus 5.
Here we go. So that's going to be a 71 at 3 to 1. That's going
Bound to
to
be at least 1, maybe
hits.
2. Yeah, and that
And
is
a
the end of
morale check
that
with a plus
turn.
10. Oh, does that all
There
he's
is
got
no
left?
morale
No.
check. There's no morale check if you're dead. That is not how this works.
Hooray, we finally eliminated a Prussian unit from the map.
If you are dead, you don't have no morale check. We don't need no stinking morale
There you
or
go.
oxygen. Don't need any of this stuff.
Yeah, it's all overrated, I'm sure.
Mhm.
All right. So that's that there. Now we've got to do Haddock, and Haddock is not within reach of the. So he just have to make his initiative roll, and I think he does.
Probably.
His initiative is pretty good. Yeah, he's a 6. Okay.
Yeah, he wouldn't be a very good light cavalry commander if he was.
Yep. I've got.
I'm just surprised he survived Prague, given what we know about that battle.
Yeah. Let's see. So he's got some guys that are in the backfield that are out of command.
Yeah.
He's got some people that are
Yeah.
way back here. Let's see. That's shaken and disordered. So
Right.
they move half. And so if their movement is 7, is that like 4 points then?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why I was curious. It's like halved and then
I think
rounded
it's
up.
rounded. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Which ones are? Oh God, they're way back
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Like this guy here.
Holy
is way back there, yeah.
smokes. Okay. Although a lot of those are belong
Yeah,
to
there's
M.
not much left. Hey, but you stack enough of them on, they might add up to something.
Yeah, they all bring a +10 with them. That'd be
All
great.
right. So this is going to be 1, 2,
What did you roll for
3,
disorder check?
and oh yeah, you're right. Here, I'll roll for that. He's still disordered. So I guess he'd only be able to move a half,
Nope,
right?
it's still half.
Oh, okay.
Whether he's out of command and disordered is not additive, so it's still half movement regardless. It's not quartered.
Okay, then let me roll for the
Wait.
other people that are out here. So I got
Yep.
this guy. Let's roll for him. 34. Is it just
Ooh.
the -5 for being
It's-
disordered?
It's
Oh, it
plus
doesn't matter.
5
He's
for
a
being
35.
disordered. Exactly. So never mind.
All right, and then this guy here. Oh, he's still
Ooh,
disordered.
boy.
All
Okay.
right, and then anybody else? Oh, this guy
No,
here.
'cause there is-
This guy down here. Let's roll
Okay.
for him.
All right.
43. That might be something. He's still shaken, but yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So undisordered, shaken now.
Oh, I went the wrong way.
Never fails. I was just talking to my daughter about the chances of me hitting the open door button on the elevator compared to hitting the closed door button. Nearly zero. It's kind of like me saying limbered and unlimbered backwards.
There you go.
But you can almost count on it.
All right.
Flip the unit to its correct side.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Hmm.
Giving away lots of intelligence there with what their
You
true
don't
capacity
want to let
is.
us know. You
Yeah.
don't want to let
Yeah.
us know. Yeah.
It's a mystery wrapped in an enigma.
Mm.
Okay, so he's in command, and everybody else up here is in command because Haddock is here.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. What do I want to do?
Yeah, there's that.
Yeah. So I'm going to move this
Can't,
guy. This guy's going to move right there. So you get a shot at me as I move adjacent to you.
Sweet.
Yep.
3 times, is it 3 times 3 or 3 times 2?
Well, it's a range of whatever.
Well,
He rolled a 57. He's got a minus
Yeah.
something because it's a small target. There's only one increment
Probably.
left.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Yeah, nothing there.
Okay.
All right. Very good.
Cool. All right. And then this guy here is going to turn. That's 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to move Haddock just so he's out of the way. This guy's going to come out of the woods. So that's 1, 2.
All the better to shoot you with, my dear.
3, 4. All right, and then this guy is going to move here. That's 1. No, or what is it? What is it in the woods?
It's almost certainly 2 in the
2.
woods. Might even be 3.
Cavalry's 3. Okay, so he's going to go there and he's going to stop.
Okay.
All right, I've got this guy who's down here. What do I want to do with him? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I can bring him up that way. Yep, I'm going to do that. So he's going to turn. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 gets him there. And we just cross our fingers and hope that he recovers. All right,
Could
this
happen.
haddock is going to move there. This guy here is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Starting to build our second line. Anybody else that's part of him? Those guys are Morocco, Morocco, Morocco. Okay. All right, and then I had this grenadier that I was going to do. So he's going to go 1, and then he's going to turn. That's 2, 3, 4. Gets him right there. Starting to build a second line.
Magnificent.
Yeah,
Magnificent.
exactly. It's all part of my devious plan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, and so then I have 2 charges I want to try to do. So one with this guy here and one with this guy here.
All right.
So we'll do the 5, 7 first. 45, he's going in. And then we'll do this one here. 0, 8. Uh-oh, it's a
Special result.
Let's see what it says.
It's probably a good special result for you, though.
This is a morale check, pre-melee morale check.
B.
A 0, 8. If it's stacked with a leader, it passes. Reroll with a +5. So
Okay.
that's an improvement, correct?
No, +5 is bad.
Oh, okay. Here we go. 32. I don't think they're going to go. No, I know they're not. Oh, 28. Oh, they just missed it.
Just missed.
Fiddlesticks.
That's tough. All right, so
I was going to charge your gun.
Yeah, of course you were. Absolutely.
Oh, well, best laid plans.
1 percentile away.
Yep, that's how it goes. That's the Austrian. It's the Austrian way, as we say. All right. So let's do this one.
We can't make this a 7 years war if we actually perform.
If we performed well, it would have been the 3 years war.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
who's got time for that?
Done a lot sooner. All right, so here this guy's going to move, so it's going to be 1, 2, and he's going to end up right there, and this guy's flanked there like that. So not a big surprise.
Actually, though, you okay. You're fine. Yep, carry on.
Okay, and so...
All right. The defender needs to roll his...
a 17. That's going to be
a rout, and he's gone.
So he's going to lose an increment and have
I don't think he does, actually.
Oh, he doesn't?
I think that because it was not part of combat, that he doesn't. Pre-melee morale check, shaken unit routes. Doesn't say anything about losing a strength point. Combat hasn't actually happened yet.
Oh, okay.
So you don't lose the strength point. Yeah.
I saw you coming. I said, I'm getting out of here.
That's it. Sayonara.
So he goes back 6, right?
6. That's right.
Well, do we still have pursuit then?
Sure you do.
Oh, okay. So he could lose something with that then, I guess.
He could, yeah. Depending on, how cheeky you want to feel.
I'm feeling very cheeky.
Really? We don't.
You could just go right back obliquely, right back that way.
Yeah, sure. You could just follow the hex row if you want to. I mean, it seems to me like that would be completely valid, right?
All right.
So the attacker moves forward,
and rolls then I roll for pursuit points.
Single die.
1.
A whopping 1. Magnifique.
All right. So I will forgo pursuing. I will stay there. All right,
Hey,
and I
All
guess that
right.
does
So
it
you,
for
s-
Haddock.
you still need to roll
need
for
to
recall.
Oh, I do. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
88.
All right.
Yeah,
No problem.
they're happy.
Yeah.
Well, at
All
least we
right.
cleared out part of it. We didn't get everything done we wanted to, but no, that's a
Yeah.
start.
You,
What can you
you
do?
moved the mice.
All right,
All
I
right.
don't know
Was
whose
that
roll it
your
is
role, David?
for
I
initiative.
think that was your role, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
Yeah, I think
we're
it
back
was.
over to
I'm
you.
gonna go ahead and roll. I'm gonna go ahead and roll, and I'm gonna roll really, really badly.
That's one for us.
Any further questions? There is no us here
Oh,
on your side.
it's
It's
one
just
for
you.
the.
You're all by yourself.
It's one for. Yeah, well, I have a friend, a secret. I have
Do you?
Perry. Perry is
imaginary
on my
friend?
side.
Is that it?
Hey, we've got
Listen,
Bobby joining us from Cal State Long Beach.
hey now.
Exactly.
Cal
And we've
State
got at
Long
least a
Beach.
couple of so with Bobby and his friends watching us cheering on the Austrians, we have
Cheering on
just
the
skewed the
Austrians.
demographics of
Listen
the
to this
channel
story.
by about 25 years younger.
Wait a minute. Does that mean that people from the north, like from Kitchener, Ontario, are naturally favoring the Prussians? Is that what you're trying to say? Just because he's down south, he's favoring the
No,
Austrians?
no. Because Bobby writes, "I made it, Eric. I hope you win the game." So
Curse.
William is smart enough to hedge his bets and
Oh.
just enjoy watching the game without picking sides. But Bobby he's throwing in his lot with the Austrians. And so as a result, he's definitely he's angling for an Austrian victory. So what can you do? It's exciting. It's exciting.
That's good.
All right. So it's time for the Austrians to do something exciting with all this newfound success. So let's do some more cavalry stuff on this other side of the map since we're at it. So let's go ahead and we're going to activate Mr. Maracas over here. Let's roll for him. And he's in command as well. So he's got some people that are in the back unhappy. So we'll roll for this guy who's shaken and disordered. Let's see if he can at least not be disordered. Hey, he's only shaken now. That's an improvement. All right, that guy is one of Haddock's. Who else? We got somebody else back here. This guy here, let's roll for him. 23. He's going to continue to be shaken and disordered. Anybody else? That's somebody else, and they're routed, and I think those guys are routed too. Yeah. Okay. All right, so I'm going to move the guys in the back before I forget about them.
Okay.
So they're just moving half.
That's right.
Right. Okay.
But they're in
there's
column,
1,
so
2, 3, 4.
thank you,
That's
sir.
number
May I have
4.
another, they say.
Exactly. They're very dedicated. This guy is in whatever, so he's going to go 1, 2, 3, and he doesn't have enough to go down the hill.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
But he can turn at least, so there's 4. All right. Oh, I got this guy here. I forgot about him in the woods. So let's roll, see if he can
Probably
undisorder.
gonna
Oh,
get
he
a,
does.
well, never mind the -5 I was going to point out.
Yeah, so he's now only shaken. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to move this guy here. Does he want to opportunity charge? Because this guy can't opportunity charge, but this guy could opportunity charge.
Well, hold on. Have you rolled yet?
Has who rolled yet?
Well, I'm sorry. You're saying opportunity charge. My bad.
Right. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm still in the movement phase. I haven't done anything more
Yep.
exciting yet.
All right. All good.
So that's a question for David.
He's thinking.
Yeah, I don't think there's much a reason for me to.
You got 5 against 4. He's medium. You're not.
But then
I don't know.
there's all these guys in the woods. What happens with them?
Yeah, well, they don't get to do anything this activation. Oh, well, I don't know. That's not true.
Well, if he opportunity
Probably,
charges, he would have to fight
but-
both of these guys.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah. Probably not very appealing then. Is that true?
Yeah, because we went through this over on
Yeah,
the
we
other side
went
of the
through
map,
this
remember?
last time. We had a similar discussion about charging.
Now, what are the conditions where this guy can turn?
Which guy can turn? If I were charging him, he could turn as a reaction. But
He
I'm not
could do
charging him. I just
defensive
moved up
reaction,
next
that's
to him.
right. Yeah, there's an optional rule called what's it called? Reaction movement that effectively gives you something very similar to the defender reaction from charge, and it was intended to prevent people from being right in front of you, going around to your flank, and then charging you your flank, and you can't do anything about it. And
Reaction movement is only when you're being charged.
well, reaction movement's an optional rule. Oh, no. Defender reaction is specifically the term you use for when you're being charged. Reaction movement was a new option that was invented, if you choose to, that actually is available in the enemy's movement phase, not in the charge phase. But we haven't really specified that we're using it, so I guess we aren't. So
I'm not going
Yeah.
to opportunity.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm kind of
Cool.
I'm kind of with you.
All right. So then I'm over here now. This guy's going to turn 1, 2, 3, and then he's going to go 4, 5. He's going to go there. Now this stack is
Wait a
going to
minute. Hold on.
what?
You did 1, 2, and you were facing south.
Yeah, that's because he was facing this way originally. So he went
Oh.
1, 2,
Yep, totally agree. And then 3 moves you into the hex where
Yep.
you are right now.
and then 4,
The
5
trouble-
gets him around. Yeah.
Nope. No, that would be 4, 5, 6, first of all.
Okay. 4, 5, 6.
But it turns out, and this is actually a subtlety that doesn't come up very often, and you might be able to get around it, but I just want you to understand
Yep.
that turning 1 hex point cost you 1.
Okay.
Turning 2 hex point cost you 2. Turning 3 costs you everything.
Everything you have or everything that's remaining.
Everything you have.
So it would cost you 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So if that's the case, then he could get here, right? Is that what you're suggesting?
1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4, 5. Yeah, he could do that easily enough.
That'd be
Yeah.
6, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I think in the past, or he could just do a line backup. So he could.
He
turn
could, but then he
here and
runs
then
the
he
risk
could-
of having to do a disorder
check,
check. So that one's a little like not sure if you want to do that, but
Right.
so the thing, and I just bring this up for everyone's edification because it's a subtlety that's not immediately obvious, but if you look at the facing change chart, the bottom, it shows the single hex facing change costs. And it's in a box at the bottom there. And it shows you 1, 2, all.
Yep.
I do remember reading that if you turn 3,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, I see it.
Yeah. And the assumption is probably that you're doing the whole counter march rotation sort
Right,
of
'cause
thing.
you
And
have
it just,
to have the
The senior
the better
company needs to be
units
on the
on
right.
the. Oh yeah. Okay.
Exactly. So, anyways, rarely does it really matter. You can usually find another way to do what you want, and indeed you did.
Right. Okay. Well, cool. We'll try that and see how it works. This guy here, though, is going to do a line backup, I guess.
Could you flag who you're doing that to?
This
Yeah.
guy is going to line back
There
up
you go.
there.
There you go. All right. All right.
So-
And
So here's the
just
question.
just by even
You
just by
wanna-
even saying that, yeah, exactly. So there's upcharge potential just by him declaring he was going to do that.
Right.
So you got 2 hexes that could upcharge him if they so chose. Obviously, he's going to have the slope benefiting him. And he's got, oh shit, that's a big stack.
Yep.
I didn't realize there were 2 units there.
Yep.
Ooh, okay. All right. Well, that may be less appealing then.
Wonder why we got a slope, we got a flank.
-2, I think.
Yeah, it's -2 for the attackers up the slope.
But I don't mean to be dense, but didn't you start this whole thing with this guy wanting to move?
Yeah,
Did he not move?
he did move.
He moved forward.
What did he
once.
do?
He moved forward. He was over here and he moved there. So he moved
Oh.
there to block this guy from opportunity charging this guy in the flank as he moved back.
Oh, okay. But to be clear, there was no opportunity for this guy to upcharge him
Why not?
because he just moved into the hex. He didn't do anything once he showed up.
Oh, I thought moving
Who-
within 2 hexes
No,
triggered.
no, you actually have to do something once. Well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I thought as
Okay.
soon as you moved within 2,
I have been,
it triggered
I have
a
been-
opportunity charge.
I've been partaking of the grape. So there's some possibility that I have mistaken this. I think you need to do something within 2.
Is the opportunity charge optional?
It is.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
purely
it's not
a-
mandatory. So it says when an active unit performs any type of movement, formation, or facing change within 2 hexes of a reactive cavalry unit.
Yeah.
So does moving in count as movement?
No, I don't think so.
Huh.
At least if we look under what is it, 12.8, where we talk about opportunity fire, 12.8, Charlie and
Yeah,
Delta.
opportunity fire. It's definitely when they leave that hex.
Yeah, opportunity fire triggered by a formation or by exiting a hex. I don't think so. I think you'd have to do something when you are 2 hexes away. Becoming 2 hexes away isn't enough to make it happen.
Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. I thought it was. I thought.
I think, for example, if you were, and obviously it wouldn't make any sense for a cavalry unit, but if you then indicated an interest in moving forward, then you're doing something within 2 hexes.
Okay.
But simply arriving within 2 hexes isn't sufficient.
Okay. All right. Well, so this, however,
I feel like a Talmudic scholar here. This is so ridiculous.
does
Is
present the
leaving a hex
opportunity
with-
because I'm leaving the hex.
That's right. That's right. Exactly. And so he's got 2 stacks that could react to that, although whether it's a good idea, I don't know.
Well, and can I move my leader there and then he can move with them, or since he didn't start stacked with them?
Ooh,
how does that work?
that's a really good question. Units get moved and stacks get moved individually, so that would kind of suggest to me that what would probably need to happen is that you move the leader to where they're going. I don't even know if that would work. Because obviously you're trying to have the benefit of the leader when
Right.
you do your disorder check.
Yeah.
And what people always do is wait till the end and move the leader last when units are disordered in order to make sure they get undisordered. But that's clearly something happening at the beginning of the next turn,
Right.
not this turn. It's a little bit more complicated. You do roll for disorder at the end of your movement. So I guess if the leader is in the hex you end up in, then he could help you. So you could just move him directly to where you're going.
Okay. No, that's
And
what
then
I
he
was
could
curious.
help
Like,
that hex.
because
Yeah.
he's got
yeah.
10 movement points. I'm like, well, can he move there?
Sure,
And
he
then
can go
he can
anywhere.
move with it.
He can go anywhere the hell.
But since he didn't start
that,
stacked with them.
exactly. He
Okay.
needs to move separately from them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So the guy in a so he can't opportunity charge because he's in the
That's
he's
right.
on
Right.
That's right.
Yep. Which is why I moved that guy there. So
and he
Sure.
can't
because he's disordered. Yeah.
He's disordered. That's right. Yep. So you got those two hexes up north that could, but then they got the slope in play.
So what's his plan?
And if memory serves, the green guys aren't that good. I mean, they're okay, but they're not great. Yeah, they're not great.
So, I'll let you go.
Okay. I appreciate that. I'm sure I will
Oh,
roll terribly and make it all worthwhile.
with any luck
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
13.
Yeah.
13. 13.
Oh, 43.
Damn it!
I was close. It was close. All right. I do not have any charges or anything
The
else.
hell?
So that is
Festetics. What a weird name, Festetics. Sounds like it's like a course of study. So, you think you're ready for that Festetics 201 exam?
I'm totally ready for that. I
Well,
was born ready
that's
for
really-
that.
Okay. TMI.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Who rolled for the last roll? Was that was?
I thought
who
that was
that?
you.
I don't. Was it? Sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
All right.
All right, then you.
Here we go.
You roll.
29. That's one for you guys.
Now we're talking. Now it's you didn't roll high enough.
Nope,
though.
not
That was
high
the big
enough.
problem with that. I'm gonna have to talk to you about that.
Yep. That's the kind of results I get when I roll on a melee. It's
that's
when I
okay.
have like a plus 20 or whatever else, and I roll a 29.
All right.
Let's see. William has a comment here. I want any outcome that would lead to a more perfect alternative history than the one our antecedents had to struggle and suffer through. Okay.
Whoa.
We're working on
Whoa.
that. So I guess
Whoa.
he is.
Well, no, that's going to require you losing, brother.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. It sounds like he
Yeah.
is pitching in
All
on the
right.
Prussian side. William,
That's the
I don't know.
spirit.
I'm
We
not
need
so
the help.
sure. I'm not so sure.
No.
Hey,
We
by the way,
freaking need
William,
that.
Dennis Spores from Marshall Enterprises might be reaching out to you. He's looking for playtesters. He's there in Detroit, and he figured you were close enough. Maybe you guys could get together and play. So look for
Dennis
an email
is
from
in
him.
Detroit?
Maybe.
I didn't
Yeah,
know
Dennis
that.
is in Detroit.
Is that where
Yeah.
he lives?
Yep.
Damn. All right. All right.
Everybody
that's
else
good.
is in
All right.
Southern California.
Yeah, I think that's where I was confused.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Evil
But
Prussians.
if I knew anything about those folks in Detroit, I would know that they love their cavalry charges, and that's how I should have known that's where he's from.
Of course.
All right, we're going to go to Krakow. Why are we going to do Krakow? Because we can.
Where
That's
is
why.
Krakow? Who's Krakow?
Right in the middle of everything, brother.
Oh gosh, that guy. Yeah, I managed to get him
sir.
killed when we played Prague, so that's why I forgot who he was.
Oh, we appreciate your efforts.
Yep.
It's great. All right, well then we're going to go ahead and just start moving, guys, because I don't think anybody is disordered. I'm just going to start moving them because I can. And I can do that, and that's 1, and that's 2, and that's 3, 4, and that's 5. See how great that is? And he's going to do that. And that's going to be pretty special. And then he's going to roll
What are you doing hiding
well
behind
enough.
my infantry?
He's hiding behind your infantry.
We're exploiting the breakthrough you're going to make. This is all about you.
Oh, this is
We're here for you,
hilarious.
brothers.
Hilarious.
It's not like cavalry hasn't been out in front all this time. Just we're tired of getting get whacked with cannonballs.
Yep.
So
All
yeah,
All right,
get on
David.
up there.
It's your turn.
Make it so.
All right. What's my roll? Is
Yep,
that what's
your
it?
roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we can do that.
83. Yeah, that's one for me.
You still didn't roll high enough. We
I know
really need to work on our rolling.
We keep rolling 11s there, man.
I know. There's been a lot of that going on.
All right, we are going to activate Veed, the Veedmeister.
Veed!
And let's see, he is not within range of Dawn. So let's roll for him. He's a 6, and I don't know what his initiative is. A 7. Oh my gosh. He's very
Wow.
very
Goodness.
good at independent thinking. All right, cool. So, Mr. Veed, he doesn't have anyone who's disordered, but we've got people way back in the backfield here that we can move. So let's do that. So I got this guy in the road. So that's going to be 1, 2, gets him there. This guy's going to go 1, 2, stack on top of that guy again. What else do we want to do? All right, over here, this guy's going to go 1, 2, and then 3 gets him to turn. This chap here is going to come out of hook. So that's 1 for that, correct?
Yes.
Yep. And then he's going to go, whoop, let's delete that. Then he's going to go 2, and 3 gets him there.
All right.
All right. And then this guy can retract, and that's going to cost 1? Or is it going to cost 2?
I think it costs 2. I think
Okay.
it's 1 plus the cost of
And
the
then
hex.
he's going to extend on the
3,
other
4.
side. Yeah.
All right.
He's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
doing the little side shuffle thing, which we
Little-
all know and love.
Oh yeah.
Yep. All right. Then this guy is going to go 1, 2. He's going to go there. My cavalry, Veed's cavalry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's going to go there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think they're both the same, but let's check. 32 and 30. Yeah, they're both the same. Okay. And we're going to grab our friend, Mr. Nadajdi. We're going to plunk him over there. And let's see. And Veed can stay where he's at. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everyone's in command. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everyone's in command. Okay. This stack here is going to try to do a charge.
All right.
Yep. So let's roll. 32. Nadajdi adds 12, so they're going to do it. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3.
Seems like-
There's our target right there.
Right. Yep. All checks out.
Good. I'm glad when I do something correctly.
Wait.
It happens
Whoa,
occasionally.
Whoa. How's he doing
What?
that?
How's who doing that? I had
Nadajdi,
the stack here. Nadajdi is a wing leader. I can move him.
He's able to activate anytime with any formation. It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be a formation that's part of his own wing. So he just moved over to a hex where some of Veed's cavalry moved to.
Yep.
And joined them. And then away they go.
Yep.
I mean that's all valid.
That's a new one on me. Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Well, and
knew- Everybody in
The
his
other
wing
thing-
was done.
Well, yeah, but he himself wasn't,
but
because
he
hadn't done
wasn't,
anything.
because he,
Right,
if I'd done a
exactly.
wing activation, then
Exactly,
he would have
yes.
been out of commission.
That's right.
Yeah.
The other thing about this arrangement is it doesn't matter that Veed's a million miles away from these guys, because by attachment, we can activate Nadazdi like the next time Veed activates.
Yep.
And activate Nadazdi and therefore activate the stack that's Nadazdi stacked with. So they're going to be able to activate at the same time and in command, regardless of the fact that they're many 2 hexes away from Veed. So
Right.
that's kind of one of those subtleties. Yeah.
Oh, and while I'm at it,
And
there's
they were stacked together.
no, they were stacked together. So they
Those
both
two-
moved and they ended up stacked together here, and then
Sure.
Nadajdi moved there, so all 3 of them are stacked, and then we
Right,
rolled
right.
and we passed our turn.
Dodge, they moved there.
Yeah, Nadajdi was right here and he moved right there.
Right.
Wait a
That's
minute.
all valid.
No, it would have to be if you activate him, wouldn't you have to activate him with the units he's stacked with?
No. No.
Where's that? Where's
no.
that? Show me.
Well, no, it's just a wing leader has to be activated with a command. Doesn't have to be
Right.
any particular command, just has to be activated with
Right.
a command. And so he was, in this case, activated with Veed. At the same time, he's activated with Veed. And
Understand that.
and so then he moves, which is, of course, he's entitled to do. Veed's units are entitled to move. They all end up moving to the same hex. And because they're all activated and the cavalry decide they want to do close combat and they succeed in the roll, away they go.
I don't
I mean,
agree with that. There's something about that seems inherently wrong with the command system. So that's what I'm asking. It does not make sense that you could I could see you could activate another commander and the units with him, but
well,
for him to be able to go and then join another command and then take off with it, that doesn't make sense with me.
So he's because he's not a brigade or
Exactly.
division leader. He's a
I
wing
under-
leader.
it's only because he's a wing leader that any of this is even
Yeah.
possible. Because of course, if he was a command leader, that wouldn't be.
Yeah, I couldn't do it if he
possible,
were
for sure.
so I couldn't move Maracas with that because
Right.
he's
already
his own
activated. He's already
commander.
done.
Yeah, but even if I
Yeah.
hadn't,
Right,
he
right.
couldn't move because he could only move when his command is activated. But
Right.
Nadajdi is a wing leader, and so he can move either when the wing is activated or anytime I want to.
So what I don't have a problem with you activating him. What I have a problem with is that he moves to another stack that isn't even his units, takes command of them and runs off with them.
Yeah, and he can do that.
But
And
where?
it's-
Where does
look
it
up
say that?
look up
That's what I'm.
look up the word look up attachment. So I mean,
It's
right
not
now,
even,
yeah,
it's not even where it says you can do it.
No,
It's
but-
that there's
yeah. But for
It's that
subsequent
there's-
turns, he can then command those 2
in
units. and they can
subsequent
move.
terms
Yeah.
it would be activated. They would be attached.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And in subsequent turns they'd be attached. But the fact that they both ended up in the same hex and then carry on together is that's just activating a unit. It's not that it requires a rule to say you can. There's nothing to prohibit it. He's
that's-
activated, so he's moving. So he's moving with units. He's stacked with units. He's moving with. I mean, I don't know.
He
I
was
don't see a
original.
problem there.
You can't go and just jump in and then stack with them and then go.
Why not?
Well, except
Uh,
he's
Show me
stacked with
where.
them. He is stacked with them when they roll in the close combat phase to charge. He's stacked with them and he's eligible to charge with them if he's stacked with them at the beginning of their charge. So there's nothing wrong with him moving to the same hex they're in. And there's nothing wrong with a leader stacked with a unit going with a unit during a charge. I don't. I mean, I get that it seems a little weird because it's outside the chain of command because Veed is an independent unit and he's a wing leader, but
Where
I
is
got nothing.
where was V?
Veed is over here. All of his units were in command
Sure.
at the moment that
Yep.
activation started.
Where
So the two units were here, right? There and there. And so
and
one,
they
two,
what moved they here?
yeah, they moved there. They had more than enough movement to
Sure.
get there.
Sure they did.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
Yeah. I mean, it's just what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Now, there is reference here to a wing leader may only do this for units of a subordinate command.
Who's that? Where's that?
I'm looking at automatic in command here.
But
Okay.
we're not in command.
No,
This is
no, but it's a fair point, and we need to make sure that we
Yeah.
understand it. Combat unit belongs to an activate command, cannot trace if it's stacked with its own army leader or wing leader.
Activated to do this.
Ooh, so that's an interesting point. So that would suggest that he can't attach them. Wing leader may only do this for units of a subordinate command, and Veed is not a subordinate command of Natasti in this. So attachment doesn't look like it works there, or at least it doesn't work there. Where else is attachment mentioned, or is it mentioned anywhere else? Because that's kind of feels like attachment right there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Automatic in command.
right. So automatic in command, right? So
The wing leader would need to only do it for units that are members of his chain of command. I mean, that has nothing
unless
to
you
do
guys
with
have a
what's
different
going
rule
on
set
now.
than mine, I don't see that.
None. What? 7.5a?
Yeah. It doesn't
wing
say
leader may
anything
only-
there about it having to be part of his
And-
command.
And
No, no,
also,
no. Let's be clear. A wing leader may only do this for units of a subordinate command. This only has anything to do with putting units in command at the beginning of an activation. This has nothing to do with what's happened on the board thus far.
Right. Yeah. So we're
So
looking at
what's
something
happened
that
on the
would
board
be
thus far is fine, but what it looks like is I misunderstood the attachment rule because unless we find someplace else where it says something different, Nadajdi won't be able to put them in command at the beginning of their next activation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what 7.5a appears to be saying.
Right.
I would have thought you could, but apparently you can't. But David's concern is that what's happened already isn't valid. And I don't think I agree, but
and under attachment, I'm not even seeing anything there that
But,
Where's
it's not an attachment. This is we're
Right.
not even there. That's next turn if I were to try to do something with those units. But this is not. This is just
where is
Those-
your justification for it?
I don't
You're
think-
either that guy is attaching those units to himself.
no, he's not.
No.
He is a leader
He's
who's
merely
riding along with a
stacked
bunch of cavalry.
with them. He's stacked
It's-
with them at the beginning of the close combat segment.
Yeah.
He's activated at the same time they are. And he happens to be stacked with them at the beginning of the close combat segment, and therefore he's entitled to go with them. I mean, there's no rule that says you can do it because the rule says that you can activate a wing leader anytime you want with any other command.
Where does it say that?
I don't know. Apparently, we're going to go look for it.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it.
Man,
It would probably be just under leaders, right?
Probably. That'd be a good place to look, yeah.
To a command. Commands can be activated only once per turn. Only previous unactivated units are eligible for activation. Okay, once active, units move and fight in order to align to the sequence of play. All steps in the same.
I mean, it's right here. It's 6.6a. Independent
6.6A.
units and non-command
Yeah.
leaders may only be activated along with a command. Right?
So
So he's a non-command
yes,
leader.
that is correct.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what? Okay, yep. They cannot be activated alone, right? That makes sense. If a player has activated all of his commands and hasn't, and still has unactivated independent units, too bad. Non-command leaders can be activated only once in a game turn and are flipped to their finished side once the activation is completed. The only time a non-command leader can expend movement points are attached to a command is when he's activated, but there's no stipulation that he has to activate with somebody in his chain of command.
Yeah.
There's no, I mean, there isn't.
Well, it
He's-
says one or first the only time it talks about he's attaching units.
No, he's not
Okay,
attaching units.
But we're not worried about attaching units at this point. Attaching is a concept intended to put units in command. And units in command happened at the beginning of the activation. And they were
Well,
within.
he's going to be using his
the-
command stuff here. He's attached them.
No. That
Not attached in that sense. He's simply stacked with them. This would be just like the army leader being stacked with him. The army leader is absolutely entitled to go charging. Oh, it'd be crazy, but the army leader could absolutely go do that. This is no different than that.
All right. One of our dear friends who's watching it, Mr. Gary Quick,
Yes.
has
Hi,
found the
Gary.
rule we're looking for, which is 10.5b. A leader can stack with
10.5.
any type of friendly unit. Leaders do not affect stacking limits, nor do they affect facing formation requirements. Leaders may move and stack by themselves. They do not have to be stacked with a combat unit. So it says
That's
right here
also
they
good.
can stack with any friendly unit.
Yes. And then if we look at, oh boy, where are we here? Let's go look for close combat.
Does 66F clarify? Some are activated along with the friendly command, while some can be activated alone, like a command leader.
Yeah. So the wing leader in this case was activated with the other command.
Wow. Wake up. Let's take a look. I was back here. I'm just looking for discussion of leaders in close combat.
All right. Well, I'm taking up too much time.
I mean, they passed their role anyway, whether they had Nadajdi with them or not.
Well,
So-
to be fair, they
yeah.
did. That's true. I mean,
So
he'll
it's-
help with the combat, but I have no objection to it. It all seems totally legit to me. I guess it's the privilege of being a wing leader in a big swinging thing that you show up and you join the attack. I don't know. It's all good to me. Defender needs to make a defender morale check. It's plus 15 because he's outflanked and he's disordered, so plus 15.
Yep.
So he's
So
going to be
he's kind of
shaken.
shaken and disordered. Spoo, you have a little small brain, but you're welcome to go out onto the back porch if you want. We spent a huge amount of time trying to figure out what we're going to call this new cat we got some years ago, and we wanted to give her an English name because we were living in England and she herself was English, and so we did. And so we ended up giving her the name Guinevere, and then she ended up not living up to the name. She ended up being a knucklehead with a walnut-sized brain, and we ended up calling her Spoo most of the time. So Guinevere and Spoo just kind of have a different sort of vibe, a little sort of a sense about them. But Spoo really fits her better. Kind of like we called our eldest son Kenneth, and he was the redhead, and then we called the second son, who wasn't a redhead, we called him Reed, which means red.
There you go.
Whatever. What are you gonna do?
All right.
Okay. All right. So, what did you bring in? How many increments? Is it 13?
I've got 13.
13. Okay.
So
13
13
5.
5. But
Is
then he's
there-
halved
There's
because
not a
he's
2 and
shaken.
a 4. Oh, okay. So 13 to 3.
Right. So that's going to be.
So 4 to 1.
Yep.
All right, 4 to 1. You are bringing 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
And I charged
11,
3.
12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's what I count, 16. And he's got -1, so it's plus 17 at 4 to 1. I feel a 0 coming on. 0.
Why am I plus 17?
Well, because your printed value is 6
Yep.
plus 2
Okay.
because you're heavy cavalry, so that's now
so
8.
That's 8.
9, 10, 11 because you moved 3 hexes.
Okay.
12, 13 for Nadajdi.
Okay.
14, 15, 16 because you're hitting him in the flank.
Oh, okay. All right.
I mean, this is like, I mean, it's 4 to 1 plus 17. I mean, it's a shit show.
Okay. All right. Well, here we go.
0.
Nope.
God damn it, that's not a 0.
It's not. So it's still on the 10 or more
Yeah, it's-
side, right?
It's plus 10 on 4 to
Yeah,
1. I mean,
so
they're
it's going to be a
vaporized for
surrender.
Nearly, yeah. Is it 4 to 1? Vapor?
Yep, it
surrender?
vaporized. Surrender. Surrender,
right.
Dorothy. All right, and then he can go in and change his facing.
Go in and change facing any which way he likes. Yeah.
All right, bingo.
Good times.
All right, and so now we need to think about the being in command. So you're saying that he's not attached because he's not
Right.
one of their superior leaders.
Nadajdi can't attach them to Veed because Nadajdi isn't in his chain of command. So next turn, they're out of command. Now, what does out of command mean?
Well,
Out of
they
command
move
means
half, right? They can't
half movement,
and
and
they
they
can't
can't
launch a
init-
charge, right?
they can't initiate a charge. They can
Right.
still do counter charge. They can still do an op charge. They
Right.
can't do an offensive charge.
Mm-hmm.
So they're somewhat limited, not as limited as infantry would be, but still somewhat limited.
All right. So let me flip Nadajdi since he's done his bit for king and country. Or for empress
It's
and country.
Empress and country, yeah.
All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'd have to put Veed here in order for him to be in command.
Well, let's don't be too cute about this because, of course, the movement phase is over.
No, you're right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I totally forgot. For future reference.
Yeah. The best way to learn the rules is to get really screwed hard by them. And then you go, yeah, I'm not going to do that again.
All right. Where are we?
So Well, V needs to get flipped over.
Yeah. So what's 6.4?
Is there more rules people are quoting? Man, we got a bunch of rules lawyers watching the show. This is awesome.
Hey, all right.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank to whoever found that. So
Yeah,
Objection, Your
that
Honor.
was Gary. Gary said
Objection.
something. Yeah.
Because I will tell you,
So the
served
I think
as
I
an
could
alternate.
I still would be attached.
How? Show me where.
Well, in 6.4, right?
Okay. Yep.
An unactivated combat unit of 1 command
Yeah.
can be attached as a temporary member to another, provided the unit is stacked with a leader who is also being activated. The combat
that
unit is said to be
seems-
attached to the activated command. The
Yeah,
leader
it
can
seems
be
reasonable.
activated. Yeah.
Seems reasonable, but how? But then why would that not be automatic in command? I'm just trying to figure out why we have a distinction between 7.5A.
Attachment can occur. Well, that's thinking that, say, for example, I had units that were part of Marok's stuff that were out of
Okay.
Marok's range, but they were stacked with
Yeah, yeah.
Nadajdi. I think that's what they're talking about. So
actually, here's the other subtlety. In 7.5A, where we talk about automatic in command, it says that the Army/wing leader doesn't have to be activated to do this. Well, that's a key distinction between what you just read in 6.4, where it's precisely because he's activated that he's able to activate these units and put them in command. Where 7.5A simply means that somebody in his chain of command is stacked with him. That's all that matters. He doesn't have to be activated. It's a subtle distinction, and I'm not sure I've ever noticed it until just this minute.
right. So I mean, we don't have to worry about it until
Chris,
next turn.
the effect of that means that unless you get a wing activation, you've effectively given up the chance for a wing activation if you're choosing to use him in that way next turn.
Right, as a to command
as an
those,
attachment. Yeah, because you will have had to activate him, which means you can no longer do a wing activation. So you can use him for either purpose, either for a wing activation or for getting those guys in command, but not both at the same time.
No, that's fine.
Okay,
I'll take that trade.
that's fair. I mean, you gotta have choices. You gotta have choices in life.
All right, I flipped
Lordy,
V'd over.
boys. All right, V'd over, and it is 10 o'clock Central.
Yep.
And we probably need to let David walk around the house a couple of times, kind of cool down. Don't blame him.
Well,
but right? How?
Okay, yeah, this is as good a time as any to save.
It's been 2 hours with the end of end of an activation, and I think there's a chance. I think there's a chance that we could end this turn eventually.
Usually what we found is that the turns are now taking 3 sessions. Because the last one, the 420 turn took 3 sessions.
Is that right? Okay.
The 340 turn took 3 sessions.
Well, the other thing is that we've really gone to a 2-hour thing instead of a 3-hour thing. And when we were doing 3-hour, I think that gave us a little bit more latitude. But with 2-hour, and by the way, 2-hour, I got to confess, I'm a little happier about because it means Monday doesn't come quite so early.
There you go.
There you go.
I did have a great time with my class.
Oh,
2
yeah.
of them from the UK,
Did you do a lot of heavy drinking?
I wouldn't say heavy, but there was absolutely drinking that occurred. Yeah. Actually, it was a lot of fun because 2 of them were from the UK. 2 of them were from Miami. Neither one of them was born an American, but they both become Americans. One was Cuban, one Venezuelan. And then there was another guy who just was called in at the absolute last minute, who was for all for goodness sakes, he was an assistant vice president, but he just wanted to be in the class. Okay, whatever. The argument was he was a foreigner because he's from North Carolina, so that was pretty close. I think
Right.
any Texan would agree that that's pretty foreign. But the British guys said, you know what we'd really like when we were talking about what are we going to do this evening? Is they said it would be lovely to just kind of get out of this very suburban, very business district sort of feel. And I'm like, well, you come on up to McKinney, to the square right by my house. And it turned out it was a beautiful, beautiful night. And spring has sprung here in North Texas. And so we ended up going to an Irish pub, which they criticized for not being sufficiently Irish. That was good, made them feel better. And then we went to a restaurant where there was a lot of outdoor seating under the pecan trees, and they really enjoyed it. So I had a great time with that and got to show them that Texas isn't as ghastly as it appears on the BBC. So, felt pretty good about that.
There you go.
Yeah, so that's where we were.
All right.
So that's all I got.
I did mention I know.
Oh yeah,
probably
you've got your
gonna be able-
event.
next Sunday, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Next Sunday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now,
All right.
you guys could probably do it because I don't have anything more to move.
Yep. I don't have anything
that-
more on your side of the map other than artillery that's going to be firing.
Okay. Well, yeah.
And-
So
yeah.
Eric, why don't you and I get together? We can at least get the turn wrapped up.
Yeah.
And if there's anything more that makes any sense to do, we can do that. But honestly, you've got a lot of commands that haven't gone yet, so it could take a little while.
Yeah, I've got a boatload
Okay.
that haven't gone yet. So
Yeah. So let's plan on that. I'm going to roll a lot of 12s and higher
of
to
course.
keep you from getting to do anything at all. That's my plan.
good.
I mean, it's important to have a plan. And so we'll get together next Sunday night for that, and we'll see you in 2 weeks, David.
All right. I might be checking in, whatever, but I might not have
Okay.
I will be confined to my laptop, which is not as easy to.
Oh yeah.
go
I
through
understand, I
everything.
understand that feeling. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
right.
Well, y'all have yourselves a great
Have a
week.
great week.
Enjoy.
All
Talk
right,
to you
gentlemen,
later
be
on.
well.
Adios.